80% of budgets fail within the first month. Not because people are lazy, but because they're fighting their own brain chemistry. Here's why. In the next 8 minutes, you'll discover why traditional budgeting is scientifically designed to fail, and how a simple banking trick used by millionaires can automate your entire financial life without tracking a single receipt. A 2022 study from MIT's Behavioral Economics Lab found something shocking. People who used multiple bank accounts saved 37% more money than those using budgeting apps, even though they spent less time thinking about money. And researchers at Duke University discovered that physical separation of money triggers completely different brain activity than spreadsheet tracking. Let me show you how this works. The first reason budgets fail: your brain literally runs out of willpower. Here's what nobody tells you about budgeting. Every single spending decision you make depletes a finite mental resource called decision fatigue. Cornell University found that the average person makes 35,000 decisions per day. Now, when you're tracking every coffee, every grocery trip, every Amazon purchase, you're adding hundreds more micro decisions. Can I afford this? Which category does this go in? Am I under budget? Your prefrontal cortex, the part that controls self-discipline, literally gets exhausted. It's why you crush your budget in the morning, but order takeout by 8 p.m. You're not weak. Your brain is chemically depleted. Picture this. It's Tuesday afternoon. You've already decided what to wear, what to eat for breakfast, which route to take to work, answered 47 emails. Now you're at the supermarket and you see your favorite ice cream. With traditional budgeting, you pull out your phone, open the app, check your food category, calculate if this fits, feel guilty, maybe buy it anyway, then spend 10 minutes logging it and feeling bad. That's 6 additional decisions for 1 tub of ice cream. Multiply that by every purchase, and you're adding 50 to 100 extra decisions per day. No wonder you give up. Stop trying to track everything. Decision fatigue is real, and willpower is a losing game. But it gets worse, because even when you do stick to the budget, and in 60 seconds, I'll reveal the psychological trick that makes saving feel completely effortless. The second reason: money in one big pile feels completely different than money in separate buckets. This is called mental accounting, and it's a cognitive bias discovered by Nobel Prize winner Richard Thaler. Your brain doesn't see money as money. It sees money as belonging to different categories based on its source and location. A £100 birthday check feels different than £100 in your paycheck, even though it's the exact same value. Here's the problem. When all your money sits in one current account, your brain can't distinguish between rent money and fun money. It all blends together. You see £3,000 in your account and think I'm rich, even though £200,000 is already allocated to bills. This is why you overspend, even when you know you can't afford it. The money is visible, so your brain thinks it's available. Let's say you're trying to save £500 for a holiday. With one account, that £500 sits in your current account, mixed with your grocery money, your rent, your emergency fund. Every time you log in, you see £4,200, and your brain goes, I can definitely afford to order takeaway tonight. But if that holiday money is in a separate account called Barley Fund, your brain treats it as untouchable. Researchers found that people are 64% less likely to raid savings that are physically separated, even when transferring money takes literally 30 seconds. The location changes the meaning of the money in your brain. One pile of money creates temptation. Multiple piles create psychological barriers. And this brings us to the real problem. Coming up, the one thing that makes saving automatic, and it has nothing to do with discipline. The third reason budgets fail: you're trying to be disciplined 24/7. Here's a brutal truth from behavioral psychology. Motivation is temporary, but systems are permanent. Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg spent 20 years studying behavior change and found that willpower fails 94% of the time for long-term habits. You know what works? Automation. When you track expenses manually, you're depending on motivation every single day. Will I remember to log this? Will I feel like checking my budget tonight? Will I have the discipline to say no when I'm tired? That's dozens of failure points. But when you automate your money flow before you even see it, there's nothing to remember, nothing to decide. The system runs whether you're motivated or not. Think about direct deposit. You don't decide to get paid every 2 weeks. It just happens. Your employer doesn't ask, "Hey, do you feel like getting paid today?" Now imagine if your savings work the same way. The second your paycheck hits, £200 automatically transfers to emergency fund. Another £150 goes to fund money. 100 to holiday. You never see it in your main account. You never make a decision. You never resist temptation, because there is no temptation. This is why wealthy people have 7 to 10 bank accounts on average. They're not more disciplined. They've just removed discipline from the equation entirely. Willpower is a losing strategy. Automation removes the need to be good. So what's the actual solution? Forget tracking every penny. Here's what behavioral economists actually recommend. 4 to 5 account system. Account 1, the bills account. This is where your paycheck lands and rent, utilities, subscriptions, auto pay from here. You calculate your monthly fixed expenses, let's say £2,000, and that's all that stays here. Account 2, the emergency fund. 10 to 20% of your paycheck auto transfers here the day you get paid. You don't touch this unless your car explodes. Account 3, the fun money account. This is guilt-free spending. Cinema, restaurants, that stupid thing you want from Amazon. Once it's empty, you're done for the month, but you spend zero mental energy tracking it. Account 4, the investment account. Even £50 a month auto-transferred to an index fund or ISA. Set it and forget it. Optional account 5, savings goals. Holiday, new car, wedding. Each goal gets its own sub-account with a specific name. This works because it hacks all 3 psychological problems at once. Decision fatigue? Eliminated. Your money auto flows without decisions. Mental accounting? You've created the mental buckets physically, so your brain can't confuse fun money with rent money. Automation versus discipline. Everything happens before you wake up. Your paycheck hits, the transfers execute, and you're left with only the money you can actually spend. You can't fail because there's no manual step to forget. Step 1, open accounts today. Most banks let you create multiple free current and savings accounts instantly. Label them clearly. Bills only. Emergency, do not touch. Fun, guilt-free. Step 2, calculate your percentages. If you make £4,000 a month, maybe it's 50% bills, that's £2,000, 20% savings, £800, 20% investments, £800, 10% fun, £400. Adjust based on your life. Step 3. Set up automatic transfers for the day after payday. Not whenever you remember. Automate it. Within 3 months, you won't even think about it. The system runs itself. So let's recap. Traditional budgeting fails because of decision fatigue. You run out of willpower. Mental accounting makes one big pile of money feel spendable even when it's not. And relying on motivation instead of systems means you're set up to fail from day one. But when you separate your money physically into different accounts, your brain does the work for you. You're not being good. You're making it impossible to be bad. That's the difference between trying harder and building smarter systems. If this clicked for you, subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down the psychology of why we sabotage our own success and the 3-second rule that stops it. You won't want to miss it.